Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all you Akim out there preaching this word in sincerity and truth.
That's right.
And also shalom to some of you Akwath out there listening to this truth as well. This is Brother Atazawam.
This is Brother Qadar.
And we're with GMS Dallas. And we want to go into a little subject today because there's a lot going on in the media. For some of you brothers who may not know, Netanyahu is meeting with the U.S. today.
That's right.
You know, and there's big tensions rising over there with the Palestinians, all kinds of stuff. You know, Yemen, Syria. You know, even the brothers have shown videos going where there's the so-called the Hamites down there getting tired of Esau.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff going on, man.
That's right.
There's so much going on that the Lord said this would be the beginning of sorrows.
That's right.
And you know, this is something to really open your eyes to.
That's
to
right.
be honest, you know. Now I want to start off with scripture first. We want to start off with Matthew chapter 24. Starting at verse 6. Read that, bro.
Come. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Man, you know, it's like, once again, you're hearing of situations. There's a trade war going on right now. You know, there's been sanctions put on North Korea, sanctions put on Russia. And yet you're constantly hearing about China doing trading commodities with the Russians and with Syria. I mean, not Syria, Slovakia, with Korea, North Korea. You know, even while South Korea is also trying to make plans to like have some type of peace treaty.
That's right.
For those of you who are not aware of this. The so-called, I'm just going to make that clear, so-called North and South Korea, those are Moabites.
That's right.
And the same people we call the Chinese and stuff too, they're Moab.
That's right.
You know, for those of you who don't know that. You know, so some of these nations are starting to come together. You know, they getting tired of the U.S. and this nonsense, man.
That's right.
They're constantly engaging in these other countries. There's a situation going on in Yemen right now that the U.S. is getting themselves involved in. And they're like, wait a minute. When the last time you heard of a situation going on with Afghanistan, fighting ISIS, and all that stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the military is spread thin. For those of you who don't understand what's going on as far as that part of the politics.
That's right.
And everything. You know, these nations are getting tired of Esau, man, just constantly involving and putting their heads into these other countries, and yet our people still don't get it that really the U.S. is the bad guy.
Yeah.
If you want to be technical.
Yep, he's the like the elder always says, man. Esau has that mindset of he's the villain and the victim. It's like, bro, you can't be both. You know what I'm saying? Either you the victim or you the villain.
Yeah, all these people like in North Korea and in the past Iraq, all these wicked dictators who then chop people's heads off and stuff like that. Well, hold on. You got our people out here clearly getting murdered.
Yeah, yeah. On a large scale, man. And nobody has nothing to say about that except men of the Lord, man. You know, Abaratazah, we're those men. You know, it's a lot of stuff going on like in the U.S. that they really keep on the wraps as well. But the Most High, man, he's not holding back anymore, man. The Most High is letting everything just unfold as it should, man. From these news media outlets, as even though they still try to steer this fake news or propaganda, it's really being seen as what it is, man.
Now, I just want to play a video real quick on what's currently going on in the media. because Benjamin Netanyahu is over here in the U.S. trying to go over a few things, and there's tension rising over there in Israel. Because a few months ago, they were trying to make Jerusalem the capital.
Yep. Sure.
And then these people are very clear, making it very clear that you are not the real Jews.
That's right.
And welcome to Face the Nation. I'm Margaret Brennan. The Trump administration has seen turbulent weeks before, but this one left Washington reeling. On the policy front, the president endorsed positions on gun control that appeared to be more in step with Democrats, confusing Republicans and the NRA. In a freewheeling televised meeting with lawmakers, he suggested that when it came to potential threats,
take the guns first, go through due process second.
That would be unconstitutional. He endorsed a bill tightening background checks at gun shows proposed by Pennsylvania Republican Pat Toomey and Democrat Joe Manchin, and demanded to know why it didn't include raising the purchase age for some weapons to 21.
We didn't address it, Mr. President, but I think
No one is afraid of the NRA.
The president insisted he wasn't afraid of the NRA, but after meeting with their top lobbyists, the White House signaled he backed off, and the NRA said he agreed with them. Republicans downplayed the president's evolving positions.
Well, you may have noticed that interesting reality TV show at the White House.
But the president had another surprise policy announcement, this one also supported by some Democrats.
You'll be imposing tariffs on steel imports and tariffs on aluminum imports. It'll be 25% for steel. It'll be 10% for aluminum.
Republicans weren't the only ones unhappy with that. The stock market dropped 500 points. U.S. trading partners were furious, and even the Wall Street Journal called it the biggest policy blunder of his presidency. The president responded in a tweet that trade wars are good and easy to win. He later threatened to tax European car imports. On the personnel front, President Trump publicly blasted Attorney General Jeff Sessions again, and new press reports revived an old rumor that National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster was on his way out. Following a day of questioning by lawmakers investigating Russian collusion, the president's longest-serving aide, Hope Hicks, announced her departure from the West Wing. Jared Kushner's security clearance was downgraded as the FBI continues to look into his business dealings. And on Friday, the New York Times reported that the president has privately asked White House Chief of Staff Kelly for his help in moving them, meaning Jared and Ivanka, out. Kelly also had a rough week, admitting to reporters he had not properly handled the security clearance issue, and Kelly aggravated the president when he joked at a celebration for his former department.
The last thing I wanted to do was walk away from one of the great honors of my life, being the Secretary of Homeland Security. But I did something wrong, and God punished me, I guess.
At an off-camera press dinner last night, the president made light of the chaos, joking that it's been another calm week at the White House, and it's finally running like a fine-tuned machine. With that, we begin this morning with South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. He joins us from Clemson, South Carolina.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, Senator, where do we begin here? Do you have a message to the president after this week?
Yes. As to guns, you have an obligation to give us a package to consider regarding school safety and guns. You did a good job talking in front of the country about the problem. Let's come up with solutions that are bipartisan. Propose something, Mr. President, and I think Republicans have an obligation to work with Democrats to make it law if we can. So that's guns. On trade, you correctly identified the problem of China dumping steel throughout the world to destroy the American steel industry. Your solution is let China off the hook. It's only going to hurt American consumers and our allies. Please reconsider your solution.
Well, sir, on the issue of personnel confusion and some policy confusion that you...
I just wanted to pause it right there because, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on with trade wars and trying to control whether people got guns and weapons and all that other type of stuff. But I want to try to get to a point here where there's a actual situation going on between Israel and the Palestinians and stuff. That's where I mentioned Hezbollah.
That's right.
Referred to there about Jared Kushner's security.
Iran rather than pushing a peace process that's broken. If southern Lebanon is a rocket launching site against Israel, they're developing precision guided. I went to Israel and Jordan. The King of Jordan is under siege because we have no policy as the United States regarding the Russian-Iranian axis. Southern Lebanon is a rocket launching site against Israel. They're developing precision-guided weapons, so I would focus on containing Iran rather than pushing a peace process that's broken. If we don't come up with a strategy against Iran, we're going to make Israel go to war here pretty soon with the Hezbollah elements in southern Lebanon.
Salakia brothers for saying that the Palestinian and the Hezbollah was the same thing, but what he just mentioned right there, that was talking about Iran. You know, clearly, here you can see there's something going on, and who's allies with Iran? Russia.
That's right.
You know, so once again, man, things are flaring up, man, out here. For those of you who are not aware of that.
That's right.
Well, you're referring there, though, to the outgrowth of the war in Syria. The president was very clear. We're there just to get rid of ISIS and get out. Does he need to reconsider that policy? How do you fix the problem you identified?
Well, he said he did not want to turn Iran over, Syria over to Iran. We don't have a strategy to contain Iran. They're about to take over Damascus. He's done a good job fighting ISIL, but Iran is now dominating the Mideast. Hezbollah elements being supplied by Iran have over 100,000 missiles pointed at Israel. The King of Jordan has suffered mightily from the Syrian civil war. If we don't push Iran out and come up with an agreement in Geneva that gives Syria back to the Syrians, this war never ends. So, Mr. President, it's just not about defeating ISIL. If you leave Syria in the hands of Russia and the Iranians, this war never ends, and our friends in Israel in a world of hurt.
Do you know where the president's red line is on chemical weapons, which the Assad regime continues to use?
I thought I did, but I don't any longer. Clearly, he did use chemical weapons yet again. What I would like to see is a no-fly zone.
Man, so I just want to stop it right there, you know, to play that part of it, because he made it clear.
Yep.
Iran is starting to take over the Middle East.
That's right.
Right now, because they haven't even told you guys, as far as the media and all this politics nonsense, like, what's the status on fighting ISIS?
That's right.
You know, and Russia made that clear a couple years ago that ISIS has been defeated.
That's right.
So why would you, that would be a contradiction for you to say you still fighting ISIS, but Iran is dominating the Middle East.
That's right.
So it's clear, man, that what these devils is doing out there, man. All this stuff where they fighting over these pipelines, everything was about commodities that you heard in like the first couple minutes of that video.
That's right.
You know, it's all about commodities and stuff like that. You know, I just wanted you brothers to hear that, and I want to bring out a few more scriptures. You know?
Yeah, I'm going to start at 1 on this one.
Okay, come on.
Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
So, if you know the history of Israel and Egypt, that never even took place.
That's right.
So that's obviously telling you of a future prophecy of the of Egypt, which is, it just means house of bondage.
That's right.
You know, because that's where Israel went back into. They went back into the house of bondage, which was here in America.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it tells you that in Revelation, this place is spiritually known as Egypt and Babylon.
That's right.
You know, spiritual Egypt and Babylon. Continue.
Come, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And what that's going into, man, that's like literally, that's literally going to be within your nation, because these nations are going to be fighting amongst themselves as well. Okay, and as you can see, things are heating up. You know, is what we're going into in this lesson, man. Things are heating up. So rather how small or how long or a border is between anybody, man, them people gonna start fighting, and then people gonna be fighting amongst each other in that city. Look at the the situation with Trump since Trump been in office, man. People been looking at who people feel, well, if you voted for Trump, you have no integrity, you have no morale, so you shouldn't be here. And then vice versa with Trump supporters. Well, you ain't supporting Trump, so why should I deal with you?
That's
so
right.
those people are going to be fighting, and we know nations, amongst who are in the U.S., nationalities are fighting,
And it's also showing you to fight everyone against it. When it's talking about that, man, you're gonna see it's gonna get bad out here, man. It's gonna be all kinds of race riots, everything going on, because the thing that's also been going on is that racial tension rising.
That's right.
Heavy. For those of you who do not understand that, man, this racism did not go anywhere, never left.
That's right.
And now it's really beginning to flare up, man. There's a brother who even put a video showing you on Vice that the women, the so-called Negro women, man, are leaving out of the U.S. and stuff because they tired of the racism and everything. Yeah. But guess what? These women trying to do their own thing. They just think they just going to go land on an island somewhere and relax and go meditate and do yoga and whatnot. No, that ain't going to go down like that.
Yeah, it's real serious out here, man. Like we said, like a lot of things that's not being shown to the masses, but it's coming out now. America's not fine. You've put as many bandages as you can, and it's been exposed, man.
Because y'all try to make it look like, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these other so-called white people have made all these changes throughout these past 50 years and all this other nonsense that racism don't exist anymore. Man, listen, this stuff is flaring up bad, and it's getting bad now with these other countries, because even down there in South Africa, they said these Europeans and came out here, just started claiming our land and started becoming farmers and talking about they Africans. Yeah. And well, really, if you want to be technical, they are, so to speak, because the land was named after a Roman general, Scipio Africanus.
That's right. That's right, Doc. So now you gotta now they trying to come up with a law or debate whether those Edomites should be counted as immigrants if they come to the U.S. like they do those heathens, and then some of our people who are all across the world, man.
So it's getting bad out here, man, and people are truly thinking that everything is just still plain as day.
Yep.
But tensions are truly rising. That's why they're pushing this RFID chip and stuff, man. They're still not telling you that these other countries, like Venezuela and all them, are suffering and whatnot.
And that swift cloud is going to be a chariot as well.
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to continue reading verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
That's why, I kind of let the video kind of play on a bit on certain things that didn't have anything to do with the lesson, but I wanted to show that, they constantly telling you about the stock market and stuff like that. Yeah. Because they want to trade these commodities and stuff, and how Trump even messing that up.
Yep. And the war brings revenue, man.
That's right.
So that's why they keep all this stuff pumping, man. The negative energy and all this war, man. And even though, and let me state this, man, we know that these Edomites and these elites want chaos. Guess what? Yahweh Shem Yashar is in control of that. So for one, so we not Israel. Hell, we can't even come together with other camps who's speaking Levin, man. So let alone, I don't want you damn heathens thinking that if Esau stopped this, we can all live in harmony, man. Yahweh Shem Yashai didn't set it up that way.
Nope.
Because a lot of people are big on that now. Well, don't you see they just want to divide us all? And look, bro.
Yeah, because we all brown and all this other BS, man. And nobody want to hear that, man. We are nowhere near the same.
That's right. I continue reading. And I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And that's for all this witchcraft, man. That's all this rebellion, man. The demonic vibration that this place holds, man. You know, they're definitely praying for our downfall. But guess what? I just read three verses where Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna come to destroy this place, man.
God, because what was going on earlier at the beginning of the year, man? They had that flu outbreak, man.
Yeah,
totally different flu virus, man. How this stuff just don't come out of nowhere, out the air, man.
Yeah.
These devils we keep showing, we constantly show when we have done lessons throughout the years, man, how these devils spray chemicals throughout the air, out these planes in the air and everything.
Yep. That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? This stuff is clearly shown all the time.
That's right.
And everybody just thinks this is a norm, there's nothing you can do. But yet everybody believes they can make it.
Yeah. That's right.
The Lord, we get ready to start going through some stuff. And like a matter of fact, did we go through the rest of let's see. Beginning of sorrows. Yeah, let's start again with Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 up to 8.
Come. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
And I just showed this brother just not too long ago, Oklahoma just had a 4.2 earthquake.
That's right.
Just had a 4.2 earthquake. You know, so it's all this stuff. We go through some chaos. Right now, as we talking, we hear sirens.
Yep. Complete chaos. But hey, you know, before this lesson, we also seen a rainbow, man.
That's right.
You know, the Lord is showing all type of signs, man. So Yahweh Shem Shai is always working, man. Okay. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Man, it's about to get real out here, man.
That's right.
It's going to be a lot of betrayal, because you're going to have brothers who are going to lose faith too, man.
Yep. Because you feel that Yahweh, first and foremost, Yahweh Shem Shai is not working on your time. It's in due time, man, through the Spirit of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You know, we in a grace period, and that grace period is to, you know, do what we can to be spiritually aware, man, and get ourselves spiritually prepared for what's, you know, to come. Like the brother just pulled up on that video and the scriptures we bringing out through the Spirit.
God, so it's about to go down, man. I mean, I just want to make that clear. Like, nothing has changed.
That's right.
When it comes to the so-called white man.
That's right.
Who is Edom.
That's right.
According to the Bible, man, these people are very violent. This is how they feel as though they can continue on in this life.
That's right, brother.
In this day and time, everything has to be about war when it comes to commodities, to trading, everything. Even when we were in slavery, we were commodities.
Yep, they earned all type of bank from us.
That's right.
Just a side note, when slaves were brought over here and we worked not worked, but when we're in servitude and in bondage under Esau, they took out insurance policies on Jake.
That's right.
So when Jake died, or whether we died or got killed, guess what? They got money off of us, man. Okay, that's how Esau earns money, man. Esau earns money on the left hand side, man.
And once again, you're still a commodity now, even in this day and time. Do y'all not know that's why people have Social Security cards?
That's right.
That's what they get ready to do again with the RFID chip. It's just changing things over.
That's right. Transferring everything,
and once again you're being tagged again.
That's right.
Spiritual change. A lot of our people don't comprehend that, man. You 2/3 got to go too.
That's right, brother.
You know, because it even says here, let me just bring this out real quick. This is in verse 9, Matthew chapter 24, verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of our people, man, are going to be right along with these devils, man, doing this stuff too.
Yep, that's right.
They're going to be like, there they go right there. They're going to be accusing us of being the enemy, the bad guy. So this whole time you're literally being held down by these devils.
Yeah, That's right.
And about to be murdered by these devils when it come to these nukes and stuff like that. And as you heard in that video,
That's right.
they get ready to blow Israel up.
That's right.
You know, and then it says here in verse 10, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's talking about Israel, man, if you want to be technical, because I'm going to tell you that right now, man, that is, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that is one of the biggest arguments you have, is that we can't come together as a community and all this other type of BS, but so-called white people, you know, they can do, they know, they stick to the code and all this other stuff. But man, look, this is clearly talking about us.
That's right.
You know, got anything else, brother?
That's it on that.
I'm going to close out. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Salakia. You know, peace and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in sincerity and truth.
And also, Waha, Rakah, Kodash, Barakathum.
God.
And also salutations to the select number of Akwath out there listening.
Shalom.
Shalom.